या अल्लाह तेरी इबादत करते हैं और तुझे से मदद मांगते हैं। सबसे पहले कुछ एक्नॉलेजमेंट्स, डेफिनेटली रेयर एडमिरल मिर्ज़ा फवाद अमीन बेग, DG Pakistan Maritime Security Agency, our advisor to Prime Minister on maritime affairs, delegates, foreign academia, media, everyone who is here. It's indeed, I'm really honored to be here, and I'm very humbled that I'm invited here and I'm talking to you. Just for my background, these were very technical sort of things and not possible to talk. I hope that I take you on a very simple and small, talk with me. The first one is that I'm here as a climate change minister, and when I was given this role, remember for the record that Pakistan is a disaster and calamity prone country, and we fall into the 5th risk index. And climate change is a threat to Pakistan. So it's not very easy for one of the most populous country in the world to cope with the climate action. But still, what we did in this, and especially today as we are talking about the marine life, somewhere I read about the Charles Moore, he was a marine research. He said, only we human makes waste that nature can't digest. And seriously, Pakistan is in the verge of indigestion now. We are fully filled with all sort of pollution, and it's not very easy to digest more. Since we are talking about the many form of pollution, and you read all the data, but today the topic is actually marine life. What I see, and it's in a very simple 3 points. The first one is that in Pakistan, the famous shipbreaking industry in Gadani is the main source of discharging heavy metal impurities into the sea. Our second one is, which is reported by the WWF, that 65% of litter on the coastal areas consist of plastic, thereby disturbing the aquatic life in the ocean. So that's my second point. And my third point is that untreated waste is dumped into the sea from Pakistan, especially from the Karachi. And very unfortunate that Karachi is, and Lahore is, especially Karachi, is one of the top most polluted city in the world. Not very good sign. But since when the government is here to stand and they will make a speech, they are not here to cry for the crisis or to give excuses for the crisis. Government is here to give the solution. So what we did in the 3 years of my government, I can rightly say it, and I'm very proud that in the 70 years, Pakistani people did not even know, actually, it was a survey by the BBC, that what is actually a climate change and what is a climate change ministry in Pakistan. So in 3.5 years, what we did, the major flagship program under the leadership of Prime Minister Imran Khan is one of the top 5 leaders in the world who is known by now talking about the climate change in the world. When he go to the UN, his first sentences are actually about the climate change. Here in Pakistan, we know he fought for Kashmir issue, he fought for the Shan-e-Rasool issue, he fought for the Ummat-e-Muslimah issue, but yes, for the Asas program, but yes, our top priorities, and Prime Minister Imran Khan is known for the climate change talks that he do on any international forum and national forum. So we did some flagship program. Top one is with the 10 billion tree tsunami. Most of the people internationally, it is actually acknowledged. That is 10 billion tree tsunami. Our second one is Clean Green Pakistan. That here in Pakistan, we try to have this movement. We try to educate people that we tell that it's not only the responsibility of the government or the government alone can't do everything. You have to get the ownership of your own uses, of your own cities and of your own streets. That is the Clean Green movement. Our third is e-vehicle policy. We promised to the world in COP26 that by 2030, inshallah, 30% our vehicles going to be turned on the electrification. Our fourth promise, which is very big, that is we did in a COP26 again, that is by the 60% will go on the renewable energies by 2030. Then is our plastic bags ban, and we have ecosystem restoration and national park, these are, and climate smart agriculture. These are our flagship program now everybody knows in Pakistan, and climate change is working. But the first 3 points which I said about, because today's topic is actually marine pollution, our first one is that Ministry of Climate Change in collaboration with the Sindh Wildlife Department and many other departments, had a successful effort towards mangroves restoration and management. And here is the point that Pakistan is the only country in the world which has reported expansion of its mangroves forest by how much percent? 300%. I think it's a big achievement for my Minister of Climate Change, and it is again under the 10 billion tsunami. Our second one is the rightly, the lady before said to me, that is actually as a first major policy step towards protection and conservation of the marine life, the Estola Island, Balochistan, has been designated as Pakistan's first ever marine protected area by the Ministry of Climate Change. We have other 23 national parks. One is actually this one, where the international definition of UNEP, where poaching and hunting is prohibited. These are not paper parks. These are originally on the standard of the UNEP. You will see this our contribution. And a third one is that the Indus River Canyon, about 150 kilometers southeast of Karachi, also declared as marine protected area. The canyon is an important fishing ground, especially for large sharks, whose population has been dwindling due to the uncontrolled fishing practices. And our fourth one is, which is actually, I said that rightly the WWF said that 65% our marine pollution is due to the plastic pollution. We have banned the single use of plastic bags in Pakistan. The Clean Green Flagship Program, we are working more on the clean part now with our stakeholders in Pakistan, and inshallah you will see some major solution for the plastic pollution in Pakistan for the recycling plan. I think when we come on a such international forum hosted by Pakistan, we should not forget about the blue economy in Pakistan. It is an emerging topic in Pakistan, not in the world, but for us it's new. And related से क्या क्या करता है? That is the economic growth है, improvement of livelihood है, jobs creation है, और health of marine life है. I'm very proud that the government of Pakistan in December 2020 launched the Blue Carbon first ever project in Pakistan in making the accurate estimation of the potential of carbon stock of the coastal ecosystem and mangroves. और ये हमने किसके साथ किया? We did this with the assistance of the World Bank. That estimation क्या उन्होंने की है कि if we successfully do the 10 billion tsunami, because this blue carbon is with the mangroves plantation is under the 10 billion tsunami, if we are rightly on the target, and we are rightly on the target because the SDG Goal 13, the Climate Action International Jury says that Pakistan before the 2030 is Pakistan near to the achievements. So the blue carbon estimation would be 500 million by 2050. So I know 2050 is very far, but when you make a decision making for your country, it has to be some long. Now the Maritime Security Agency role, I want to say something about it. Every time they invite me and I come up here today, I had a cabinet meeting too with the Prime Minister, but I just missed it because I think it's a very big platform to meet the international community. But a very beautiful thing wrote to me by one of the marine officer here. This is the sea are considered as the global commons, and maintaining good order at sea is a collective responsibility for all seafarers and law enforcement agencies of each individual country. The medium should not be utilized for furthering their political agendas. Rather, all energies needs to be focused on social and economic prosperity of the human beings. And I know everything is actually about the politics. But still, Pakistan can rightly on PMSA for maintaining, I can rightly proud say that Pakistan Maritime Security Agency is maintaining a vibrant all-time presence at sea through regular patrols and multi-dimensional activities to regulate various activities at sea and protect our maritime interest. PMSA, along with the international and national stakeholder, is primarily focusing its efforts on preventing accidents and emergencies at sea. I can very proudly say that PMSA has indeed come a long way since its founding. And it is nice to see how effectively the agency has been shouldering the responsibility it has given to charge of the Pakistan Exclusive Economic Zone. You are not clapping for yourself, by the way. In the end of my speech, I like to talk to the international community. I especially look forward to the valuable contributions from our worthy guests from foreign countries and organizations. I'm confident that this exercise will prove effective in responding to any future disaster management requirements in areas around Pakistan, port as well as out at sea. I assure all of the foreign participants of all-out support in their time of need. God forbid if you need. Pakistan has always been and will continue to the efforts in improving the overall security and safety environment in the Arabian Sea, and we will always be there in making this region and the world as a better place for all our future generation. In the end, all those countries and all those participants who are participating in Barracuda Exercise 11th, I hope I was part of two and I could see, but I have to fly back again to Islamabad. But I'm sure we will learn from each other with the best practices. I thank you all, everyone who came to Pakistan and flew in such circumstances. I hope that you like our hospitality. I'm sure that you will like our sea. I'm sure that you will like Karachi and Islamabad, wherever you want to go, we'll all be there and we'll learn from you. I thank you all once again. I thank you, Rear Admiral Mirza Fawad Amin Beg. Thank you for inviting me. Pakistan Zindabad. Bahut shukriya.